Hi Pisces, welcome to your June 2016 love reading. It's Rena here. So, wow, I think that as June begins, you're going to be really on top of your game, on top of the world, because you have the Wheel of Fortune as the overall energy. And I did get 3 major arcana cards out of 7, so that may show that June is an important month for you in terms of your love life. Just remember that these are general readings, and also remember that these readings focus on people who do not have relationships right now and would like one, or people who are in relationships that are troubled and you're deciding what to do, whether to leave or to try to improve it. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's really about possibly things looking up, and maybe in the past you were having either a dry spell if you were single, and now you're starting to see that there are people that are available out there. Maybe for a while you were wondering if you were ever going to meet anybody. For those of you who are in marriages or other committed partnerships that have had some problems within them, you may feel like you may see an improvement in your relationship. And the reason why I attribute to the recent past, and this is the Magician card. So basically, I feel that some of you Pisceans finally decided to take life in your own hands. In other words, you did not allow yourself to kind of slip into a martyrdom or victimized position, which is the shadow side of Pisces, but you empowered yourself in some way. Somehow you made up your mind that you were either going to make your relationship better or that you were going to move on and experience happier times. And this has led you to have the Wheel of Fortune, because once you stepped out in faith, the Magician card is all about creating for yourself what you want. You were able to attract fortune, good fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is connected to the planet Jupiter. And it just so happens that you have a transit of Jupiter in the sign of Virgo, which is your opposite sign. So it does fall into the 7th house of committed partnerships. Now, in May, Jupiter turned direct after several months of being retrograde since January. So you may see a shift starting in May, if you're watching in May, with a committed partner. If you were having problems, if something happened during the winter time, you may write it, or you may decide that you wish to invest time in making it okay. So that is a very nice energy to start the month with, the Wheel of Fortune. And knowing that you took charge of the situation is also a wonderful thing. The higher message in all of this, or the message from the universe, is the Ace of Pentacles. So this could be, for some of you, now of course Ace of Pentacles just in general could indicate a new job, or it could indicate somebody gifting you with money. In this reading, this could be the beginning of a relationship with an earth sign individual, or somebody that you meet in your job setting, especially if you started a new job. But it could just be somebody that you initiate a relationship with on the job. And I would say with single people that you may have decided to ask out somebody who is an earth sign, perhaps, or notice that they were interested in you. The message from the universe is kind of nudging you and telling you that this thing is available for you. I feel that for those people who are single, that all of these cards are particularly powerful because there's a lot of newness about it. There's a new cycle. For somebody who's in a long-term marriage or long-term relationship, it could signal that you are going to, move on to a new chapter in your relationship. Sometimes relationships do have different phases. And you could have a very troubled phase and then still, save it and, kind of weather the storm and continue in that relationship. But, whatever happens, it always has to be with the idea not just that you're trying to keep something because you're afraid of being alone, but because you see value in it. That should always be the underlying motive, is that you see that this thing is something that is viable, even though it's currently going through problems. And I feel like, there's just as this, if you look at the card, I'll show it to you again, there's like this portal. So it's like kind of going through, see that doorway? There's kind of like this chapter that is beginning, and it's like it's almost like an initiation, I feel like, especially since it's an ace. It's like you going into a new phase and having new experiences, and there's a freshness in it. And again, it could be with an earth sign person. It could be with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And you, as a sign, get along very well with the earth signs. The energy that is kind of surrounding you in not an obvious way, so it's behind the scenes, and this could be either positive or otherwise, is the Three of Pentacles. And so this is the card of the architect, and this is the card of building. So it could be that, in this context, I could see somebody that you are friends with, that perhaps you may not even see this person as a potential love interest. Maybe they're just a good friend, and your friendship is building your future romantic relationship. So it's really going to have a solid foundation because you started out as friends. You didn't just jump into something really intense. Again, there could be an earth sign person who is behind the scenes that is influencing the situation. So in a marital situation that has had problems, maybe there's an earth sign individual who is kind of mucking up the works. Now, again, I don't want to put the emphasis on that other person, because remember that your spouse is the one who committed to you. So don't fall into the trap of taking out your wrath on the person that they may be with, because remember that your partner made the decision to do that, if that's some sort of situation with infidelity. But on the positive side, it could be that you are building something very solid with this person. The energy to really take advantage of during June is the Strength card. And so this is about you being in a very good place emotionally. And I feel that, the Strength card is right below the Magician card. So I feel like some of you were inspired for whatever reason, even if it was coming out of a very painful situation, that you were going to really honor yourself, because the Strength card is connected to Leo, and Leo is a sign that's associated with pride, okay? And sometimes people joke and say that Leos are egotistical, but that is the dark side or the shadow aspect of pride is conceit. But there's the positive aspect, which is self-love. And part of loving yourself is honoring yourself. And honoring yourself means that you do not allow certain things to be done against you. And you have an insult level. You have the ability to decide, you know, what you're willing to put up with and what you're not willing to put up with. The advice is the Queen of Cups, which is a very feminine type of an energy. It's an intuitive energy because it is the element of water. And so it is the psychic and the emotional faculties being activated. But it also can relate to motherhood. So it could be that if, let's say, you are a mother yourself, you may, the only thing that may like really motivate you more than anything is making sure that your child has a really good home life. And, you know, even if you love a person who is, you know, doing bad stuff but has some good qualities, the overriding, you know, concern is your child, and that is how you ultimately make decisions on what to do, and that gives you the strength to stand by those decisions. It can also just mean that you are discerning. You're able to tune into that natural psychic ability which you have, you know, being not only a water sign, but a Pisces, you know, probably the most psychic sign out there, and using it on your behalf. Now, sometimes people have the tendency, when they have these abilities, I believe, to be blinded to their own situation. You know, they always say, how come psychics don't predict their own lottery numbers? And this may be a protective measure so that they have the opportunity to discover for themselves, just like every other person out there. You know, sometimes if we know everything in advance, then there's no point of really doing it anyway, right? It's the discovery process which is so enlightening. And so with you, I feel like this Queen of Cups is you taking advantage of your innate talent of discerning things and making good choices for yourself. And some of those choices might mean not being in a relationship at all right now. It all depends. You know, based on the other cards, I think that you have a lot of good energy happening. And this may also, by the way, be the direct result of that eclipse in your sign back in March, because remember that it is a long-lasting effect. It could carry you through next fall. And so you may be seeing some of these life-changing events occurring gradually, and June may be one of those months where it really comes into the forefront. And the outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a self-sufficient woman, a woman of means, as they say, which means financially solvent or even comfortable. And of course, with the Pentacles, it relates to the earth element, and therefore career, money, and body, health. So I feel like, you know, the number 9 is connected to the Hermit in the major arcana, so it's kind of like a solitary energy. But in this context, it may be something that you need, and it may be something that has not been there for a long time for you if you were in a long-term relationship that you've recently left. I also think that for those of you who are single, that this is just kind of affirming that you're good, you know, you're set. You don't need somebody else to support you. You don't need anyone to control you, because you know, you're an independent person, and you're really enjoying life on your own terms. In the context of a relationship, this can be somebody who is self-empowered, just like the Magician card, who is self-sufficient. And you know that at any time, if you wish to leave, you can do so. You're not like bound and dependent on that person, so you have that freedom to make that decision. But because it follows the Queen of Cups, it may be that you have decided and intuited that there is life left in the marriage. There's some good things that you want to work on it, and you're willing to do so because you believe in that other person. But I feel like you're taking charge in the month of June, that you're not in a dependent position, that you really are empowered for whatever the reason. And because of the Wheel of Fortune, you are aligned, so things can come easily to you at this time. So Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a personal reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a wonderful June. Bye.